Bruce Lee, the world-renowned martial artist and filmmaker, passed away just before midnight.
So Bruce Lee was killed by idiosyncratic reaction to one tablet.
For more than 50 years, martial arts legend Bruce Lee's grave remained a special place because people were fascinated by secrets, reverence, and the sheer endurance of his fame. But now, after 52 turbulent years, his tomb was finally opened, and what was discovered shocked the whole world. Was it a long-desired buried truth? A relic powerful enough to change the course of history? Or something far more sinister? Join us as we reveal the amazing secret about Bruce Lee's tomb and explore what this news could mean to his legacy, his fans, and the world at large. The discovery of his tomb. Bruce Lee, a martial arts maestro and a cultural figure, was buried at the Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, Washington, after he died in 1973.
On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee died tragically at the age of 32. The official cause of death, a fatal reaction to aspirin.
This calm cemetery, which was founded in 1872 and is situated on Capitol Hill, is famous for its beautiful vistas of Lake Washington and its historical relevance. The grave of Lee is now a pilgrimage place for fans all over the globe. It is engraved with a red headstone, which has Lee's name inscribed in English and Chinese, with founder of Jeet Kune Do underneath. Beside him lies his son, Brandon Lee's grave, who died in a film tragedy in 1993. The memorials are simple in design, which makes them all the more appealing. The impact which the father and son had during their lives is incredible. This makes it possible for the memorial to become one of the most visited places in Seattle. In fact, the Lee's grave sites are considered among the top 10 celebrity graves globally, reflecting their enduring legacy. But that's not all. Visitors to Lakeview Cemetery often leave flowers, letters, and personal mementos at the Lee's graves, paying homage to the indelible mark they left on martial arts and cinema. The cemetery's management has taken measures to accommodate the steady influx of admirers, including the installation of pathways and benches to ensure respectful and accessible visits. On significant anniversaries, such as Bruce Lee's birthday, the site becomes a focal point for tributes, with flowers sometimes piled as high as the headstones, symbolizing the deep admiration held by fans. The grave's location within the cemetery is easily accessible, with clear directions provided for those wishing to pay their respects. The enduring appeal of Bruce and Brandon Lee's final resting place underscores the profound and lasting influence they have had on generations of admirers around the world. Bruce Lee's tomb was opened after more than 5 decades. While specific details about the reasons for this opening remain sparse, such events typically involve routine maintenance or restoration efforts to ensure the integrity of the burial site. These undertakings are often conducted with the utmost respect and discretion, honoring the memory of the deceased while addressing any structural concerns that may have arisen over time. The recent opening of Bruce Lee's tomb after 52 years has reignited global intrigue, particularly due to the emergence of previously undisclosed findings that challenge long-held beliefs about his death. Among the revelations is a photograph taken by journalist Patrick Wang, which displays a significant swelling on the left side of Lee's neck. This image, captured clandestinely in the morgue shortly after Lee's passing, suggests the possibility of an allergic reaction or other medical anomaly that was not documented in the official autopsy report. In addition, the recent discovery of personal letters written by Lee in the months before his passing sheds light on his battles with substance use, including his requests for drugs like cocaine and LSD. These letters, which were found decades later, offer an honest look into parts of Lee's life that the public had never seen before. This new information has sparked fresh conversations and inquiries into the real circumstances surrounding the martial arts icon's tragic death. The news about the opening of his tomb has reignited public fascination with Bruce Lee's life and legacy, leading to discussions and speculations across various platforms. Some fans and historians see this as a chance to revisit and honor Lee's impact on martial arts and film, while others approach the subject with a sense of respect and caution, aware of the sensitivities involved. So, how did Bruce Lee become such a legendary figure? Keep watching to uncover the surprising answers. Bruce Lee's early life. Bruce Lee's early life was a fascinating mix of contrasts such as privilege and struggle, discipline and defiance, tradition and creativity. Born Lee Jun-fan on November 27, 1940, in San Francisco's Chinatown while his father was on an opera tour, he earned the nickname Little Phoenix to keep evil spirits at bay. At just 3 months old, he made his film debut in Golden Gate Girl, kicking off a childhood steeped in performance. The family soon moved back to Hong Kong, settling into a humble apartment at 218 Nathan Road in Kowloon, where Bruce's formative years unfolded against the backdrop of the city's post-war chaos. Growing up in Hong Kong, Bruce was deeply influenced by the entertainment world through his father, Lee Hoi Chuen, a celebrated Cantonese opera singer and actor. This exposure led him to star in over 20 films as a child actor, often playing street-smart characters that reflected his own life experiences. Despite his early success in the film industry, Bruce's youth was also filled with street fights and brushes with the law, prompting his parents to send him to the United States in 1959. This move was not just about claiming his U.S. citizenship, it was a pivotal step toward transforming Bruce Lee from a rebellious teenager into a martial arts legend and cultural icon. Bruce Lee's educational path kicked off at LaSalle College, a well-respected Catholic boys' school in Hong Kong. However, his rebellious spirit and knack for getting into street fights led him to transfer to St. Francis Xavier's College. It was there that Bruce met Brother Edward, the school's boxing coach and a former prize fighter, who became a significant mentor for him. Spotting Bruce's potential, Brother Edward introduced him to Western boxing, which beautifully complemented his martial arts training. With Brother Edward's support, Bruce sharpened his boxing skills, eventually competing in the 1958 Hong Kong Inter-School Boxing Championship. Now, you are not prepared for this next bit. During the tournament, Bruce went up against Gary Elms, the reigning 3-time champion from King George V School. By blending boxing techniques with his Wing Chun training, Bruce managed to defeat Elms and claim the championship title. This win not only highlighted his adaptability and talent, but also marked a pivotal moment in his martial arts journey. Amid the street fights and academic hurdles, Bruce unearthed a deep passion for martial arts. At just 13, he began training in Wing Chun under the guidance of Master Yip Man. Despite facing challenges due to his mixed heritage, Bruce's unwavering dedication and skill earned him respect in the martial arts community. Beyond his martial arts prowess, Bruce Lee was an accomplished dancer. In 1958, he won Hong Kong's Crown Colony Cha-Cha Championship at the age of 18. His dedication to dance was evident in his meticulous documentation of 108 different cha-cha steps in a notebook, reflecting his commitment to mastering movement, which is a trait that would later define his martial arts philosophy. This notebook, preserved by the Bruce Lee Foundation, showcases his methodical approach to learning and his passion for the art of movement. Lee's dance skills not only enhanced his physical agility, but also contributed to his unique style in martial arts and film. By 1959, Bruce Lee's involvement in street fighting had escalated to a point that deeply concerned his parents. A particularly violent altercation led to police intervention, where Bruce severely injured another youth, reportedly knocking out a tooth. This incident resulted in his mother being summoned to the police station, where she had to sign a document taking full responsibility for his actions. Fearing for his safety and future, especially with the possibility of retaliation from organized crime groups, his parents decided to send him to the United States to claim his U.S. citizenship and pursue a safer, more promising future. Bruce Lee's upbringing in Hong Kong was a tapestry woven with threads of cultural richness, personal struggle, and relentless ambition. These early experiences laid the foundation for his revolutionary approach to martial arts and his enduring legacy as a global icon. Let's take a look at his rise to fame. His rise to fame. Bruce Lee's ascent from a spirited youth in Hong Kong to a global icon was a journey marked by relentless ambition, innovation, and an unyielding quest for self-expression. Upon arriving in the United States in 1959, Lee pursued higher education at the University of Washington, where he studied philosophy. Simultaneously, he began teaching martial arts, blending his Wing Chun background with insights from boxing, fencing, and other disciplines. This fusion laid the groundwork for his revolutionary martial art philosophy, Jeet Kune Do. Lee's approach emphasized adaptability, efficiency, and personal expression, challenging traditional martial arts rigidity. As he famously stated, "Be like water," advocating for fluidity and responsiveness in combat and life. Bruce Lee's philosophy, encapsulated in his martial art Jeet Kune Do, transcends physical combat and offers profound insights into personal growth and self-discovery. He was a strong advocate for the idea of using no way as way, having no limitation as a limitation, which highlights the importance of being adaptable and moving away from strict structures. Lee inspired people to absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is essentially your own, encouraging a more personalized approach to learning and self-expression. This philosophy invites us to be fluid and responsive, much like water, adjusting to different situations without being held back by set forms or techniques. Drawing from Eastern philosophies like Taoism and Zen Buddhism, Lee wove ideas of harmony with nature and mindfulness into his teachings. The Taoist notion of being like water, flexible and yielding, struck a chord with him, promoting a life of balance and adaptability. Zen's focus on being present and experiencing things directly shaped his belief in taking spontaneous, unencumbered action, both in martial arts and everyday life. By embracing these philosophies, Lee's Jeet Kune Do evolved into more than just a fighting style. It became a way of life that nurtures inner peace and personal authenticity. Lee's holistic approach to self-cultivation extended beyond the dojo, influencing various aspects of personal development. He viewed martial arts as a means to achieve self-actualization, where the discipline and focus required in training could be applied to life's challenges. His teachings encourage continuous learning, self-reflection, and the courage to break free from societal constraints. By advocating for a path of personal truth and integrity, Lee's philosophy inspires individuals to pursue their unique journeys with confidence and resilience. Lee's charisma and martial prowess caught Hollywood's attention, leading to his role as Kato in the television series The Green Hornet. Though the show was short-lived, it introduced Lee's dynamic presence to American audiences. However, Lee faced challenges in Hollywood, often limited to stereotypical roles. Frustrated, he returned to Hong Kong, where he found greater creative freedom and starred in films like The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, which showcased his martial arts philosophy and cinematic vision. But it doesn't end here. In 1972, Lee wrote, directed, and starred in The Way of the Dragon, introducing audiences to his unique blend of martial arts and storytelling. The film featured a memorable showdown between Lee and Chuck Norris, highlighting Lee's innovative choreography and philosophical depth. His success in Hong Kong cinema reignited Hollywood's interest, leading to the production of Enter the Dragon, a co-production between Warner Brothers and Concord Production, Inc. This film became a seminal work, blending martial arts with espionage elements and solidifying Lee's status as an international superstar. Enter the Dragon was released shortly after Lee's untimely death and became a global phenomenon, grossing over $90 million worldwide. The film's success not only cemented Lee's legacy, but also opened doors for future Asian actors in Hollywood. Moreover, it introduced Western audiences to martial arts cinema, influencing countless filmmakers and actors. Lee's impact extended beyond film. His philosophies resonated with individuals seeking personal growth and self-discovery. Bruce Lee's influence on video games is both profound and enduring, particularly within the fighting game genre. His dynamic martial arts style, iconic appearance, and philosophical approach to combat have inspired numerous characters across various franchises. In Street Fighter, the character Fei Long is a direct homage to Lee, mirroring his fighting style, attire, and even his vocalizations. Similarly, Mortal Kombat's Liu Kang, originally envisioned as a Shaolin monk, evolved to closely resemble Lee, adopting his swift movements and distinctive battle cries. The Tekken series features martial law, whose design and fighting techniques are heavily influenced by Lee, complete with the signature yellow jumpsuit from Game of Death and Jeet Kune Do-inspired moves. These characters not only pay tribute to Lee's legacy, but also serve as familiar entry points for players, embodying the martial arts icon's spirit in interactive form. Beyond individual characters, Lee's impact extends to the very structure and mechanics of fighting games. His films, particularly Game of Death, introduce the concept of ascending through levels to face increasingly challenging opponents, a narrative framework that has been mirrored in games like Kung Fu Master. This game, inspired by Lee's cinematic work, established the template for the beat-em-up genre, featuring side-scrolling action and end-of-level bosses. The influence is evident in subsequent titles such as Double Dragon and Final Fight, where players battle through hordes of enemies in a progression reminiscent of Lee's cinematic battles. These structural elements have become staples in the genre, underscoring Lee's foundational role in shaping the interactive martial arts experience. The term Bruce-em-ups has been coined by some in the gaming community to acknowledge Lee's pervasive influence on the beat-em-up genre. This moniker reflects the recognition that many of these games, whether directly or indirectly, draw inspiration from Lee's fighting style, cinematic presence, and philosophical approach to combat. Despite the challenges in creating official Bruce Lee video games that capture his essence, his legacy thrives through these spiritual successors. Characters modeled after Lee continue to appear in modern titles, ensuring that new generations of gamers experience the impact of his martial arts mastery. Through his films, teachings, and philosophies, Bruce Lee transcended cultural and artistic boundaries. He challenged conventions, advocated for authenticity, and inspired generations to pursue self-actualization. His journey from a young martial artist to a global icon exemplifies the power of perseverance, innovation, and unwavering belief in one's vision. But the circumstances surrounding his death will shock you. Shocking circumstances around his death. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee was in Hong Kong, preparing for the film Game of Death. He met with producer Raymond Chow and actress Betty Ting Pei to discuss the script. Later that afternoon, Lee complained of a headache and took a painkiller called Equagesic. He then lay down to rest, but never woke up. When efforts to revive him failed, he was taken to Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at the age of 32. The suddenness of Lee's death shocked the world. An autopsy revealed that his brain had swollen significantly, a condition known as cerebral edema. The initial conclusion was that this was a reaction to Equagesic, a combination of aspirin and the tranquilizer meprobamate. However, Lee had taken this medication before without incident, leading to questions about whether it was truly the cause. Over the years, various theories emerged to explain Lee's death. Some suggested that cannabis found in his system might have contributed, but forensic experts dismissed this as unlikely. Others proposed that heat stroke played a role, especially considering that Lee had his underarm sweat glands removed to avoid on-camera perspiration, potentially impairing his ability to regulate body temperature. In 2022, a new hypothesis surfaced that Lee died from hyponatremia, a condition caused by low sodium levels in the blood due to excessive water intake. Researchers noted that Lee's lifestyle, including a high fluid intake and low solute consumption, could have led to this imbalance, resulting in cerebral edema. The circumstances of Lee's death also fueled conspiracy theories. Some speculated about foul play, suggesting involvement by criminal organizations or personal vendettas. Others believed in a Lee family curse, especially after the tragic death of his son, Brandon Lee, during a film accident in 1993. Despite these theories, no concrete evidence has ever supported such claims. Bruce Lee's funeral in Hong Kong on July 25, 1973, was a monumental event, drawing over 15,000 mourners to the Kowloon Funeral Parlor and the surrounding streets. The ceremony was attended by a multitude of notable figures from the Hong Kong entertainment industry, including prominent actors and martial artists who had worked closely with Lee. Among them was Nora Miao, Lee's frequent co-star and the only actress to share an on-screen kiss with him in Fist of Fury. The atmosphere was charged with grief and admiration, as fans and colleagues alike came to pay their respects to the martial arts legend. He was later buried in Seattle's Lakeview Cemetery, a city that had been significant in his personal and professional life. His grave became a pilgrimage site for admirers seeking to honor his legacy. In the decades since his passing, Bruce Lee's influence has only grown. His philosophies on martial arts, personal development, and cultural identity continue to inspire. Documentaries, books, and films have explored his life, ensuring that new generations learn about his contributions. His daughter, Shannon Lee, has been instrumental in preserving and promoting his legacy. What are your thoughts on the recent discoveries at Bruce Lee's tomb? Do you believe more untold stories are waiting to be found? Let us know in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to like, share it, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.